Okay, thank you. I'm going to start the presentation talking about trials. Hope everybody can see my presentation now. And I'm Chris. And okay, here we go. First thing to work with trials and to create things inside a Breedbase. I have here some slides with Cassava Base, but in general with Breedbase to create things and input, upload things. You have to log in, and Lucas already mentioned about create accounts and submitters and users and curators, and you have to log in. And then how to find trials that are already there in Breedbase. There are at least three different ways to find trials. I'm going to show some of them. And the first one, you can go to search and field trials, and we'll see a new page with field trials. And there you can write part of the name that the trial you wanna find, or the entire name, and then find your trial. That's one way to do that. The another way, you can go to manage field trials, and then you can see a tree with all different breeding programs. You can just click in the plus sign, and then it will open, and there you can see several folders and find your trial. Or also you can just type here in search. You can type the name of your trial, and then it will be highlighted on the right side. That's the second way to find your trial. And also, of course, there is a search wizard, and there you can also find your trial. And then you, when you find your trial, you can go to a trial details page, and there are several things or several tools you can go inside and see, for example, the field layout and experimental design, phenotype summary. You can have an idea how many traits are already with data collected, and how is the distribution of the data. You can also input or upload new data. You can upload images and other files. Also, there is analysis tools. We will have a different session and talking about analysis tools, and also I'm going to show how to upload data, and later we'll talk about upload images, and we will cover some of those topics here. Also, you can see barcode for this trial. Again, another way to find your trial, you can go, for example, in this case, go to Embrapa and folder 2000 VR 2017, and clicking this green leaf and double click, we will open the trial details page. Here in Search Wizard, Lucas already mentioned about Search Wizard. It's a very powerful tool, and there you can select your breeding program, for example, or years, and then trials, and you can make several different combinations. This is another way to find your trial. Also, I'm going to talk again about create lists, because the next step I will show how create trials. And before create trials, you need at least two lists. For for example, you need a list of accessions that will be inside of your trial. And also you can create a list of checks for your trials. They must be different lists, and or if your trial doesn't have checks, you just don't need to create this list. But if yes, if your trial has a check or checks, you have to create a separate list for them. And here, one way to create is, Lucas already mentioned, you can go to lists, and there you can create or type a new name for your list, and then you have to select which type of data you are inputting. In this case, for example, could be accessions. And then if you have your accessions name in a text file or an Excel file, you can just copy and paste here, and then add, and very important, validate. Okay, so now we have our list with accessions, with checks, and the next step will be create trials. We can go to manage and then field trials, and then design a new trial. To design a new trial, you will see a workflow with 7 steps, and the first page is a main information, I would say, about the breeding program and which locations you can select, one or several locations. If you don't have already your location here, you can come back and create your location, and then you have to create a trial name, and then trial type. For example, this is a advanced yield trial or uniform yield trial, or just a trial for phenotyping. Select year, plot width and length. It's a good practice to insert, input those values, but you don't need to add those values if you're not sure about these values. The same for field size and description. You must complete this field here and just type something about your trial. And in this page also, there is an option to select the design type. In this case, I'm adding complete block, but there are different options such as just complete randomized, alpha LATSI, and augmented design, and so forth. You can use the same randomization for different locations or not. And then first validate. And if you are missing some information here, this first validation will say to you, you are forgetting to add description, or you didn't select locations. And then you come back and select what you are missing, and then validate again and say okay, and then continue to the next step following the workflow. I'm just jumping here for several things because it's just following the workflow. And the second point here in workflow, you need to select your accessions and accessions and checks. And also you are able to select a number of rows, a number of blocks, a number of replications. And the very last step, you can see the trial layout. The dark color here are the checks, and the others are just accessions in your trial. In this case, I have a complete randomized block with 4 replications. You can see just a summary here. Also, in this page, you are allowed to insert field management factors. For example, if you have different fertilizers in different plots, you can just type here, add field management factors, and select fertilizer there. And also you'll be able to click in which plot you have this field management factor included. If you have more than one, you can, after insert the first one, you can click here again and insert another field management factor as well. And after that, just confirm and save trial in the database. And then you see a message like that, process complete. You have followed all steps for design your new trial, and just the trial was saved in the database with no errors. Congrats, click here and it will show you back the trial page. Okay, but in several cases, what I see when people will start using Breedbase, they have a lot of data or they have historical data from trials, and they want to upload those trials to Breedbase. And there are at least 2 ways to do that. You can upload individual trial, or you can upload multiple trials to Breedbase. And the way to do that, you have to go to Manage, Field Trials, and select Upload Existing Trial. And also, it will show you a workflow with 7 steps also. And mainly what you need to do is select information about file format, and then it will show you information how you have to set up your file. And you just need to copy the header with plot name, accession, plot number, and so forth, and prepare your Excel file to be uploaded. It's very important to know trials may be uploaded in Excel file with this format, XLS.
I have a quick question here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so what if you want to add the same trial in the same location? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, what you need is a unique name for your trial and a unique name for your plot. If you have different trials in the same location, if they have unique name and unique plot name, it will be possible to upload.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Those fields are required: plot name, accession name, plot number, and block number. So you don't need to populate the entire thing if you don't have all information, but those fields are required. Those 4: plot name, accession name, plot number, and block number. Before Phenotypes, this is the template for single plot upload, but basically if you have multiple trials to upload, it is the same process, just will be a different header, because there you have plot, a trial name as well. You have to complete with trial name when you have several trials to upload. But essentially is the same process. Also, it's very important to link phenotypes to your trial. And manage phenotypes, you can go into manage and phenotyping, and there you can create a spreadsheet. And in this step, you are able to see different trials. You can select your trial, or more than one trial also is possible to select. And here you need a list of traits that you are going to link to your trial or trials. And after that, you can also include a column with notes if you want or not. And you can select which type of spreadsheet you wanna have. For example, in this case, I'm selecting the tailored spreadsheet, but also you can select a simple format which just shows the plot name and the traits. And also there is another option that allows you to upload images. Adrian will talk more about that afterwards. And also select which level of information you have in your trial. In this case, I'm selecting plots, but you can select plant level also. And then submit, and it will create a spreadsheet with your trial and link with the list of traits that you have. To upload phenotypic data after creating your spreadsheet, you can go to upload spreadsheet, and there you can check the spreadsheet format. But if you have already created your spreadsheet in detailed format or simple format, you can just select here which type of spreadsheet you have. If you don't have yet created your spreadsheet, you can click here, and it shows you an option to create your phenotyping spreadsheet, which is basically the same step that I mentioned before. And then select the data level and choose your file and verify and upload your data. This is the same step that I mentioned before when you are creating your list of your spreadsheet. So now we have our trial, we have phenotypes linked with our trial, and another important step is label design. We can do that going to manage and label designer tool. And there are 4 different steps to create your file with labels. The first one is select your data source. I would say it's a trial name. And here, when you click here, you can select your trial and which level of information. In my case, I'm working with plot level, but also you can have plant level or tissue level of labels. The next step is select the page format. Here I'm selecting US letter PDF, but also you can select A4 format, or also there is a zebra format available here. And then label format, you can select a customized format. And here, there is a message here in Spanish, but just saying in this step here, we are selecting label width and label height. This information is in pixels, and there is a conversion which says 72 pixels correspond to 1 inch. And so if you know how many inches is in your label, you can just make this conversion and type here. Is that clear, or it's fine?
That's clear.
Okay. And then in the second step, you can see the label space here. It's already showing, it will change depending of the dimensions that you typed before. And if you make it bigger, it shows you a bigger tag here. And in this place, you are able to add several information. For example, which type of information you want to add, just a text or 1D barcode or 2D barcode, and then select field or which type of information you want to add. For example, plot name or trial name, location name. Or also you can create a customized field combining different informations and select the size and font type, and then clicking add. So in this case here, I am creating 3 different texts with location or trial name and stock name, plot number, block number and plot number, year and location name, and also creating 2 different 2D barcodes. And if I'm happy with my new label, my tag here, I can save this model. And when I come back to create new tags and I want to use the same model, I can just use my same model again and jump from step 1 to step 3. And then I can download. Oh, sorry, just before download your file, we recommend to go to edit additional settings and check some information in this specific format that I am using, US letter and this size of tags. I am selecting top margin 30 and left margin 0 and 10 rows and 1 column. If you have different format of tag, you can make different settings and to adapt your tag to your page format, and then you can save it. And then finally, you can download your file with all labels there. And also is a good practice just print 1 page to check if your printer and your page format, just to check if everything is okay. If not, you can come back and change the settings of page format and then print the entire file. So next step.
So can we not print the labels directly from here?
Sorry, can you say it again?
Can we not print the labels these labels directly from here onto stakes or labels?
Well, you have to download the file and then send to printer. I'm not sure if it's your question, but yeah, you have to download the file and then send to printer.
Okay. Thank you.
More questions?
I think there's a way to download the label files in the Zebra format. And
Yeah.
Zebra has a lot of printers like Stakes printers and stuff like that. And I don't know really anybody who uses them with Breedbase, but that should technically work. Most Breedbase users use now these laser printer labels because they are so cheap and they are pretty durable.
Oh, okay, Lucas. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next presentation is with Adrian.